The Velveteen Rabbit, a magical journey of love and friendship. Once upon a time, in a cozy nursery brimming with toys of every kind, there lived a little velveteen rabbit. He was soft and cuddly, with velveteen fur that was a bit worn at the seams, and his once bright colors had faded with time. Though he didn't have the shiny buttons, springs, or whistles that the other toys had, the Velveteen Rabbit had something far more precious, a heart full of love. The rabbit had been given as a gift to a young boy one Christmas morning, and from the moment the boy saw him, he fell in love with his velvety softness and comforting presence. Every night, the boy would snuggle up with the Velveteen Rabbit, whispering secrets and dreams, and hugging him close while drifting off to sleep. For a while, the Velveteen Rabbit was the boy's favorite toy, and the two were inseparable. They would embark on imaginary adventures together, exploring the jungle that was the boy's bedroom, or sailing the high seas from atop the bed's pillows. The Velveteen Rabbit would listen intently as the boy told him about the exciting world outside the nursery, of forests filled with mysterious creatures and rivers that glittered like silver under the moonlight. But as time went on, new toys arrived in the nursery, mechanical toys that whirred and buzzed, shiny soldiers that marched on their own, and sleek, colorful trains that zoomed around tracks. The Velveteen Rabbit, being an old-fashioned, simple toy, was often left to sit quietly on the shelf, watching from afar as the boy played with his newer, more exciting toys. Even though he was no longer the boy's favorite, the Velveteen Rabbit didn't feel sad. He remembered the wise words of the Skin Horse, an old and worn-out toy who had lived in the nursery longer than anyone. The Skin Horse was a favorite of the boy's nanny and had become wise with age. One day, when the Velveteen Rabbit had asked what it meant to be real, the Skin Horse had said, "Real isn't how you're made. It's a thing that happens when a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you. When you are loved, that's when you become real." The Velveteen Rabbit held those words close to his heart. He knew that even though he wasn't as shiny or flashy as the other toys, the boy had once loved him deeply, and that love had made him special in ways that the other toys could never understand. One chilly winter day, the boy became very sick with a fever. He was bedridden, and his mother and the doctor did everything they could to make him comfortable. The boy missed playing with his toys, and he especially missed his soft, comforting Velveteen Rabbit. Seeing her son so upset, the boy's mother went to the nursery and found the Velveteen Rabbit sitting quietly in the corner. She brought him to the boy's bedside, hoping the familiar toy would bring him some comfort. When the Velveteen Rabbit was placed next to the boy, his little heart filled with joy. The boy's eyes lit up as he saw his old friend, and with a weak but grateful smile, he hugged the Velveteen Rabbit tightly. As the boy held him close, the Velveteen Rabbit felt a warmth and love that filled him with happiness. Night after night, the Velveteen Rabbit stayed by the boy's side, snuggled under the covers with him. The boy would talk to him in whispers, telling him how much he had missed him and how happy he was to have him back. The Velveteen Rabbit didn't need to say anything in return. His soft presence and his love were enough. As the boy began to recover, something magical started to happen. The love that the boy had for his Velveteen Rabbit began to change him. The rabbit's fur, once worn and tattered, felt softer than ever, and his little button eyes seemed to twinkle with life. The more the boy loved him, the more real the Velveteen Rabbit felt. One night, as the boy slept soundly, a soft breeze blew through the nursery, and a gentle, shimmering light appeared. Out of the light stepped a beautiful fairy, her wings glowing like moonlight and her smile warm and kind. She floated down to the Velveteen Rabbit's side, her eyes filled with love. "Velveteen Rabbit," she said softly, "you have been loved so deeply and so truly that you are now real. The boy's love has made you more than just a toy. You have become real in every way that matters." The Velveteen Rabbit looked up at the fairy with wonder in his eyes. "Real?" he asked in disbelief. "But I'm still just a simple toy." The fairy smiled and gently touched his soft velveteen nose. "You have always been real, in the ways that count. But now, your wish has been granted. You will be real in the world, too." With a wave of her wand, the the Velveteen Rabbit was surrounded by a soft, golden glow. His little body grew stronger, his fur became silkier, and his eyes sparkled with life. He looked down at his paws, which were no longer stiff and stuffed but soft and warm. He could hop and wiggle his nose, just like the real rabbits he had seen outside. The next morning, when the boy awoke, he blinked in surprise. There, next to him, was not just a toy, but a real, living rabbit with velvety soft fur and bright, twinkling eyes. The boy laughed with delight, hugging his beloved Velveteen Rabbit tightly. The two of them bounded out into the garden, where they chased butterflies, leaped over flower beds, and shared their joy under the wide blue sky. From that day on, the Velveteen Rabbit and the boy were inseparable once again. The boy's love had transformed the little rabbit into something more than he had ever dreamed, a real friend, not just in the boy's heart, but in the world as well. And so, the Velveteen Rabbit's journey from a simple, worn-out toy to a beloved and real companion taught us that love is the most powerful magic of all. For when you are truly loved, you become real, in every way that matters. The end.